Hello everyone and welcome back today for round 12 out of 14 here in the GT Sport League. We're back once again. We had a break week last week due to some technical difficulties with the lobby, but now we're back and once again I'm joined by Thunder 5050. Hello Thunder.
Hello.
And yes, today, as you see by the title of the video, we're at the Brazilian Grand Prix, or the Autodromo de Interlagos, for round 12, a track that's 4.3 kilometers long, a total elevation difference of 44 meters, 15 corners, and the longest straight just under 600 meters. But I'm not going to lie to you, I'm looking forward to this one here at Brazil, a track that can promote some close overtaking and well, I wonder what we're going to see from these drivers. On board with Simabo actually running a little bit wide through turn 4 on his flying lap, and he has picked up a 5/10 penalty. Really unfortunate from him there. He does have Holland Campion right behind him.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to this one as well. If by any means this track is a great track, actually one of my favourites, and very technical, but also a lot of room for overtaking. So yeah, it should be a great race.
Definitely, and it's quite a short track as well. Some of the drivers will be hoping to get into the 1:30 30s somewhere around that time, so we're going to see probably about 30 laps in the race, maybe something around that mark. But we've got Simabo and Holland Campion coming around the final few corners. Holland Campion's going to have a really nice run. The slipstream of Simabo to actually go side by side down the straight. This is going to favour Holland Campion being on the inside line, but Simabo picked up that 5/10 penalty after running wide at turn 4. Holland Campion in the Jaguar F-Type, one of my favourite cars in this game, comes right across the line to set 1 minute 31.8, and then Simabo 2.2 seconds behind him. Done a 1:30.34 flat. Play Dutchy goes into first place with a 1:30.6, and Oriel actually beats him with a 1:30.4. We saw him really quick last time out at Mount Panorama. He was one of the drivers who actually challenged Play Dutchy a fair bit, but Two Saints moved his way up into third place with the 1 minute 31.2, and Cryptek up into fifth place with the 1:31.8. Only 7 thousandths behind his freshman teammate Holland Campion as GJ moves his way up into sixth place with the 1:32.3. So these drivers have only done one lap, and it's already pretty close. We have a few drivers short. Tiger's having some technical difficulties, we know about that one, but we are currently missing a few others. I think Joe Black is missing, and I believe there's one more. I should know
here, this. Phoenix Gamer. Oh, this is really bad.
Tobster, that's it. Tobster, his TV broke. That's it. Shout out to Tobster. but yeah, Phoenix Gamer is actually currently in the pits at the moment. He's on the super softs. But interestingly, looking at the different tyres, Oriel's gone onto a set of super softs as Duke goes fourth at the 1 minute 31.5. Play Dutchy and Toussaint have both gone onto the soft tyres. Duke on the super soft. You can see in the bottom left, the RSS does stand for the Racing Super Soft, because obviously there's the sport and the racing, two different tyre compounds. As Simaba goes into 8th place with a 1:33.2.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they got such fast times really quick, because just before the race started they were doing about like 1:31s, 1:32s. It might be them showing time in their pace, but I'm really surprised. I would have thought a high 1:30 would be a great lap time, but obviously not. So yeah, as Holland Campion has spun and hits the barrier and has engine damage.
Holland Campion round. Unfortunate for him, pushing the track limits a little bit too much, as Woody actually made his way up into 5th. Good first lap from him. His best qualifying was, I think it was 4th or 5th from the Circuit de la Sarthe race, all the way back in round 3. So let's see how high he can get. His 700ths quicker than Holland Campion, but he's currently in the pits at the moment. Duke still in 4th place. He's in the on the start finish straight in the run up towards the line. 6 minutes to go. Will he improve? I have to find out, as his bright green, pink and black Mercedes crosses the line, and that was actually an out lap, so that was good job from me there. And
great commentator.
Thank you. And there is Play Dutchy's now coming across to finish his lap. It looks to be actually it could be a good lap from him. It's a 1 minute 30.4. That puts him still in second place on the soft tyres, 400ths behind Oriol, who's done really well to put his
just shown
Mercedes on pole.
As Oriol's made to cross the line now on an A lap, and then Toussaint's actually on a lap, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the best lap. But that just showing how good Oriol's lap was, as we've seen him play Dutchy dominating the last 6-7 races, winning every single race, and the only person to touch him in qualifying was Topster in Suzuka. So Oriol really showing some pace here, and maybe, just maybe, might snatch pole, but you can never underestimate Play Dutchy or even Toussaint or Duke. All these drivers are really, really quick, so any of these could get pole.
We're currently on an on-board lap with Oriol and the bonnet cam of the Mercedes driver. He joined the league after round 4, I believe, and is currently 200ths slower than his personal best. He does have a little bit of traffic up in front. The car a little bit twitchy, going through the fast speed right-hander. And hello to everyone else in the chat. He does have some dirty air. Cryptek up in front of him in the Aston Martin. We'll see his sector split as he comes through the second sector now. Cryptek gets really close as he moves out the way, but Oriol just loses the rear. That almost ended in disaster. He's two tenths slower than his personal best. I'm not sure he's going to find the time through the final corner as Dutchy crosses the line now and doesn't improve. 4 tenths slower than his personal best, but still remains in second place. This could be I think this is the second race, or maybe the other race. I can't remember what was last week. It's been too long since we've had a race.
Mount
Panorama was last week. That's it. How could I forget? As Toussaint crosses the line now, doesn't improve. 2.4 seconds slower than his personal best. So there was probably a potential mistake in his lap.
And the drivers really like this track because they've so many laps in qualifying, as we've seen before in tracks like Circuit del Sar. You only really get 2 laps in because the out lap is about 4 or 5 minutes. While in this track, the out lap's only 1 minute and 40 seconds or so. And if you divide that by about 12 minutes of qualifying seconds, that could be like 10 laps in qualifying. So you're bound to get one of them right. So I would say the drivers have maybe 2 more laps to get this right, so they can push to the very limit, and if they spin, it won't be the end of the world.
Definitely is. Talking of spinning, Cryptek's made a mistake in the mid-stage of Sector 2 as Holland Campion moves his way up into 4th place, but even quicker. Duke actually goes even quicker. It goes 3 tenths quicker than the Dutch driver with the 131.051, as there was another driver about to cross the line. Let me try and find who that is. It's Dutchy as he peels into the pits with a 9/10 penalty. So with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the timer, some of these drivers actually opting for soft tyres. The first time we've seen the soft tyres being used in a quali session. So maybe the soft tyres proven to be a quick tyre action as Play Dutchy comes out on the super soft tyres. So he's getting rid of that the soft tyre and was going to go for a quick lap on those super soft tyres. There's a few more drivers.
Yeah, really
now.
Interesting. I'm not sure how many people are on the softs, but this could lead to a great strategic battle. As we've seen, the strategy always differs because you have the fuel and different pit stop lengths, but this could really throw a spanner into the works for some people. And at the end, we might have people sprinting, and then some people may be conserving their tyres.
Potentially, and now on board with Holland Campion. He's coming through the final corner now. I thought he was going to go into the pits for a minute there, but stays out and will come across the line. Doesn't improve by 6 tenths. Remains in 5th place, currently a second behind Oriol, who was on provisional pole position. But as you can see on the map, there's a whole train of cars consisting of Woody, Duke, and Simeba, the BMW, the Mercedes, and the Nissan team manufacturers.
Simmeber's in the barrier.
Simeba making a mistake on his flying lap.
No damage.
I don't know if he was improving, but he's one to choose the soft tyre, interestingly. So another driver choosing the soft tyre, Duke on super softs, as Woody in front of him is still on the super softs as well.
Oriol's on a lap here. He's 1/10 down on his best time. So coming across the line, unless he has a really good last sector, he might improve in his time, but he will still have another lap to go, and maybe he can push to the limit.
Woody and Duke both don't improve. Woody only 2/10 down his personal best, so he's definitely pushing that BMW, trying to find as much time as we can. But annoyingly, I don't know who's coming across the line, but we've got Cryptek now. He's going about to cross the line. It's not going to be an improvement from him. And behind him is GJ. Will he improve? Doesn't improve, only 700, so maybe there's more time to find. If he can find just under 2/10, he will go ahead of Cryptek, as Simmerbo now is about to start another lap.
Play Dutch in the first sector is 500s up in his best time, and if he keeps that, he will be on pole unless Oreo improves. So this could be really, really interesting to see who will get pole position here.
Holland Campion, the last driver to cross the finish line with only 10 seconds to go. We've got a huge train of cars in the middle sector. It's Duke and Duke and Woody, sorry. I thought it was more based off the arrows in the top right. But 10 drivers are joining us today this qualifier. They all are out on track but one, and I believe that's Phoenix Gamer.
Play Dutchy 700s up in his best time on the last straight, unless he got a really bad exit. He is set to improve here, and might get provisional pole unless Orion improves.
And the run up to the line,
he's drifting to the last.
He's changed onto the super softs. Orion onto the grass. It will Dutchy improve. He doesn't improve by 300ths. And it's only second place for Dutchy. Really good second place for him. Duke 600ths off improving from his personal best. Woody is into the pits. Cryptek now down the start finish rate. He's got GJ behind him in his slipstream. As you can see, the qualifying has finished, and Toussaint goes up and stays in third place with a 30.5. Cryptek now comes across the line. It's not going to be an improvement from him. Will GJ improve on his time? GJ goes up into 6th place, 6/10 quicker than his personal best. Simmerbear now in the run up to the line. Will he improve? Simmerbear improves, but it's not good enough for 8th place, as Holland Campion now.
As the gap between Holland Campion and GJ is 1,000th of a second.
That, I think, is the closest we've ever had. But Holland Campion, can he improve? He doesn't improve. But that, I think is the closest gap we've had. You can't get even closer.
Look at the gaps showing again how tight these qualifying sessions are. From pole position, only 4/100ths of a second. Then 1/10 to Toussaint, 4/10 between Duke, and then 1,000th of a second. That's very quick. Qualifying
has ended, and Oriel will start on pole position, followed by Play Dutchy in 2nd, Toussaint in 3rd, Duke in 4th place, followed by GJ in 6th, Woody in 7th.
And then Campion behind. No.
Cryptek in 8th, Simmerberg in 9th, and Phoenix in 10th place. There's your starting grid. It's a shame we don't get longer. Phoenix actually didn't set a lap, as my stuff has disappeared on screen. There we go. So, here is your grid. We've got the Mercedes, followed by the BMW, followed by Mercedes, another Mercedes, a Jaguar F-Type, a Subaru, BMW, an Aston Martin, Nissan, and a Toyota rounds up the grid. But anyway, here we go for round 12 here in the GT Sport League. We have the countdown to go, and it's, well, I was going to say lights out, but it's go, go, go for the start of round 12 here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. And it's Oriel who leads away from Play Dutchy, Toussaint in 3rd, and no dive bombs yet into turn 1. All the drivers with a clean getaway, but now the run down to turn 4 and overtaking opportunity. Play Dutchy will be looking to get into the slipstream of Oriel, but Toussaint, I believe, is close to the slipstream of Dutchy than Dutchy is to Oriel, so maybe we'll see Toussaint going for a move. Doesn't go for a move yet. Looking at the back of the field, Woody's close behind GJ. He's had a good start from this race. Phoenix now tried to look for a move around the outside of Simmerberg, but couldn't make anything of it, as now the run down into turn 6. A long right hand, a really easy corner to go wide and get onto the curb and lose the rear. Thankfully though, none of these drivers have done that, as Cryptek picked himself a 410 penalty, as Phoenix looked for the inside of Simmerberg, doesn't decide to take it. It's Cryptek's now drifting through the corner, and Simmerberg and Phoenix trying to go round the outside. That would be a really good move if he could pull that off. But this bat at the back is looking quite heated as he goes down the inside of the Nissan driver. The super softs quicker than the soft tyre. Oh no, sorry, Simmerberg is on this super soft tyre, so
Play Dutchy's right behind Orion onto the main straight here, and Toussaint's dropping a little bit back, but Play Dutchy in his slipstream, he might get the move and get back but then there's always the chance for Oriole to get him back on the back straight. So really exciting racing here. Anything can happen.
Definitely. Oriole doesn't decide to defend in turn 1. Played actually looks for the inside line, doesn't decide to take go for the overtake, and Cryptex has that 4/10 penalty, and Woody now looking all over the back of GJ, trying to make a move on the Subaru driver. The Subaru getting a little bit loose on the rear, but up front Oriole having to defend from Play Dutchie in the slipstream of the Mercedes. Doesn't go for it. It's not close enough to make a move yet. You kind of really need a good run through the previous corner. There is no ERS, DRS or any additional driver aids. It's just the slipstream and the straight line speed on these cars. But so far it's been a clean start, and we've actually got some like two-way fights throughout the field. We've got the battle for first, and then Duke and Holland are pretty close on track together, and GJ slightly dropping off a little bit of Woody.
Oh, Play Dutchie was really going side by side with Oriole into I don't know what corner, but Play Dutchie has a really good run now. Oriole out of shape and trying to defend. Will he look for a move to the last corner, or will he just hold back?
On board.
This is going to be a great battle.
On board with Play Dutchie as he a little bit onto the curb there. Almost lost the rear as on board now with the bright orange BMW. Oriole will be seeing that quite in his mirrors. He doesn't decide to defend the inside line though. Sticks to the racing line. Play Dutchie in the slipstream, looks to the left hand side, but doesn't decide to go for the overtake just yet. Just waiting for the perfect opportunity. Doesn't want to hit Oriole and then ruin both their races. That wouldn't be the greatest scenario.
Holland Campion's all over the back of Duke now. He looked for a move, but I think we should look at Play Dutchie now. Will he go for the inside?
He looks for the inside. Doesn't send it, as Woody previously got past GJ. I think that was either in the final corner of turn 1, but Oriole's gone wide and Play Dutchie's gone down the inside and capitalised on the mistake. And
Woody and GJ had a collision
up into first place. I didn't actually quite see what happened to Woody and GJ, so I'll pop a quick replay of that.
No damage, but I think they were both going a bit sideways.
As on board with Woody from the replay cameras. Woody going defensive to the inside.
Play Dutchie got by Oriole. Play Dutchie got by.
And yeah, there was the collision. There was a collision between Woody and GJ, and Play Dutchie up into first place after Oriole made a mistake. Oriole made a mistake at turn 4, and that allowed Play Dutchie to capitalise on the mistake and got the overtake done turn 6. As Oriole will be looking to try and gain the position back. The Mercedes, despite how imbalanced the performance is on, the Mercedes has got some handy straight line speed. As on board with Oriole now, on board with the bonnet cam, you can just see how much he's gaining on the BMW driver. Actually decides to lift off, interestingly, on the straight. So maybe not ready, doesn't want to go for a move into turn 1. Quite a tricky corner to make a move in these cars.
Holland Campion's all over the back of Duke as well. I don't know who to look at, but it doesn't look like Oriole the best of exits off turn 1, so maybe he should have gone for the move down the inside, but obviously we still have another 54 minutes to go.
Definitely, and Holland just sitting behind Duke's Mercedes as GJ is trying to look for a move on Woody. As towards the back of the field, we got Simmerber and Phoenix Gamer going, both going at it, but Simmerber going wide, Phoenix Gamer not going as wide, and we'll have the run up into turn 6. He'll look round the outside. Phoenix has a 5/10 penalty, but Simmerber has a 5/10 penalty. Phoenix Gamer goes down the inside, and it's a good move for him up into 8th place. And Oriole now in 2nd place, currently 6.5 tenths behind Play Dutchie. He runs slightly wide through the final few corners. That's not going to help his run on the Dutch driver down towards turn 1. But Two Saint now kind of in a race of his own at the minute. For 2 seconds either side of Play Dutchie, Oriole and Duke, who Duke has a Holland Campion for company, and as well as Woody having GJ right behind him in his mirrors. But up front, Oriole looking for the move on Play Dutchie, currently 3 tenths now behind the BMW driver. He'll be looking to try to make a move into turn 4. I don't think he's ever led a lap going into this Grand Prix. Don't quote me on that, but I believe Oriol's not. This is his only laps. I thought he was going to go for the move down the inside, but that door was firmly shut, and thankfully no collisions between those guys. But now looking at the battle for 6th place, GJ currently 5/10 behind Woody. He'll be trying to look for a move on him. I believe Woody started in 6th. GJ started ahead, and I don't like what's happening. What happened there? Was that just my screen, or was sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but just gonna ride on board with GJ. I was confused. What I didn't quite. Oh, there was contact. Oh dear. This is why I'm the greatest commentator ever, because I miss all these stuff. So contact between GJ and Woody after Woody breaking slightly earlier than GJ. GJ going into the back of him, and that's front damage for GJ. That's that kind of battle gone. As Play Dutchy defending from Oriol, doesn't decide to go for a move yet, but there was a good run from Oriol through the final corner. He'll be looking to try and get a good run through turns 1, 2 and 3 as GJ pits for that damage done earlier, but Hollenkamp is still unable to make a move on Duke as of yet. The gap is opening up just a little bit, but Oriol now the run down to turn 4. The Mercedes versus the BMW doesn't go for a move yet. You've really got to get a good exit on corner exit and get the speed required for the move.
It's obviously in these GT3 cars, it's obviously a lot harder to overtake other than, let's say, a Formula 1 car. As in a Formula 1 car, you can dive bomb, while in a GT car, it's a lot harder to dive bomb as your brakes aren't as responsive and it isn't as sensitive to turn. So really, you need to be a lot quicker to overtake in this game. But Oriol's shown that he isn't letting Play Dutchy away, which is great. The key thing Oriol needs to do here is just keep in the slipstream and don't let him go out of the probably second window where the slipstream is, and he's doing a good job right now.
As Simmerbo ran wide at turn 6 after going a little bit too late on the brakes. He's lost time to Phoenix and ultimately picked himself a 5/10 penalty, which he served nice and cleanly through one of the corners. Don't know which one, but it's one in the second sector. I think it's turn 10, don't quote me on that. But now the battle for the lead between Dutchy and Oriol. Currently 5/10 between the two drivers. Oriol would be looking to get a little bit closer as Woody pits for rear damage. So that collision with GJ gathered him some rear bumper and suspension damage. He's in to repair that. Puts a little bit of fuel in, changes tyres onto the super softs, as I believe Dutchy and Toussaint are the only ones on the soft tyres, interestingly. So we've actually got some different strategies going on for the first time, well, for the proper first time this season. Obviously we do have some rule and regulation changes that will be put in place, meaning that the tyre wear and fuel consumption is going to be increased, so strategy is going to become more challenging to get right, and it's up to the drivers to make the call whether they go long on hards and more fuel, or whether they burn a load of super softs, which is actually going to be really interesting to see what each driver's personal preferences are, whether it's for the quick runs and many pit stops, or the long game on hards. It's gonna be interesting to see that.
It's gonna be really interesting, especially because of different fuel loads. Be interesting to see, will Woody go to the end? Woody isn't looking to go to the end, or GJ is going to the end. He's a full tank.
Sorry to interrupt you, but Oriol makes a move down the inside into turn 1 and Dutchy. It's a really clean move from him as he just set the fastest lap of the race on that lap. So it was a really quick lap from him, and he's moved his way up into first place. But a really nice clean move actually from the Mercedes driver. But Play Dutchy now is in the slipstream. Oriol doesn't go defensive, interestingly, and allows Play Dutchy to have the inside line going into turn 4. Oriol on the outside, Play Dutchy down the inside, and Oriol doesn't fight it round the outside, but a clean, two really clean moves actually from both drivers. But Oriol's actually got a really good run on Dutchy up into turn 6. Will he go for anything? Doesn't go for anything yet. Maybe we'll see him turn 8 to maybe the final few corners of this this lap. These two drivers really battling out for the lead, and if they battle too much, it could cost them a fair bit of time to Toussaint. Currently 3.3 seconds behind him, and Duke has extended the gap to Holland Campion.
It's really interesting to see. It's great to see that Oriole is able to keep up with Play Dutchy, because in the past, I think 8 races, Play Dutchy's kind of just shot ahead and not to be touched, while here Oriole's keeping him on his toes. And yeah, I would say Play Dutchy's loving having a bit of a competition going on, so he isn't just doing a practice session really.
And now down the final straight to start lap 9. Oriole, the gap is going down 5, 4, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Not close enough though to make a move into turn 1. As braking just before the 50-metre board, I believe these drivers are braking. Roughly the 50-metre board into turn 1. On board with Duke now. Let's just see how.
Woody's caught up to back. Woody's caught up to Simmel there now. Only 3 tenths behind.
As Woody actually has a pretty decent run on him. He's only 4 tenths off the fastest lap of the race on that lap. So it must have been a quick lap from him. He's on a move to make his way back through the field, and we'll just keep an eye on this battle for 7th place. The BMW versus the Nissan. And has he got a good run? I don't think he's got the greatest of runs though, but the gap is small enough to have a go. Not quite small enough though to make the move.
As also dirty air is a problem in this game, as you get close to the car in front produces dirty air, which affects the aerodynamics and makes the car very, very slippy. And especially through the middle section of this track, you do not want to be really, really close to a car, as it will just give your car no downforce. And in the middle sector of this track, downforce is key to be quick.
What are you trying to look for a move down the inside? He's going for a move down the inside. Can he pull this move off? This is the corner that GJ misjudged his braking point a little bit, but Woody round the outside, and it's a good move from the BMW driver up into 7th place, but now back up to the battle for the lead. Play Dutchy still having to defend from Oriole after 15 minutes of this race, and these two haven't stopped battling, trading positions up top. It's been providing us some great entertainment. The gap 4 tenths, it will be reduced on the straight due to the power of slipstream. Play Dutchy setting a purple sector 1, and Play Dutchy actually ran a little bit wide. That could be a penalty for him, but more importantly a good run from Oriole. It is a 5/10 penalty for Dutchy. What are we on? I think we're on weak corner cutting penalties, so he serves his penalty and allows Oriole to go through. I don't think we're on the strictest corner cutting penalty, so just goes to show you can run a little bit wide and the game can punish you for that.
As Play Dutchy there, I'm not sure it's him not knowing that you can serve the penalty in the corner, or is he just being good sportsmanship? He must have watched the video that you get when you're about to go online in GT Sport, but really good sportsmanship there, and he probably just wants to have the battle, to be honest. Oh, actually nearly lost it there.
He's actually dropped off. Yeah, I was just about to say he's actually dropped off a little bit from Oriole in the lead. The gap now 6.5 tenths, so the gap's definitely
as Woody's now
increased
catching up
after
to
the
Phoenix Gamer.
So Woody only 8 tenths behind Phoenix. Phoenix Gamer does have a 7/10 penalty, and Woody's actually got a pretty decent run through the final corner. Not sure he's close enough though to make a move into turn 1. Just keep an eye on that. The gap between Oriole and Dutchy's gone up to a second now. So Oriole's had a really good flow of corners through the first sector. And Woody actually dives it down the inside of Phoenix. I did not see that coming into turn 1. The two drivers side by side, a little bit of wheel and door banging. And Phoenix Gamer keeps this 6th place, but for how long? As Woody now moves his way up into 6th place before the corner, but Phoenix will tuck into the slipstream of the BMW driver. Woody go for a move, decides to stay behind the BMW. A good 2 overtakes Woody, definitely showing actually some good pace here in this race. Actually, after his collision with GJ, has moved his way up into 6th place already. It's only been 2, maybe 4 or 5 laps. So it's been a good start from him in this race.
Yeah, really. Woody come to the pack here, and as I was saying before, Dutchie made a move. Woody, I don't think it's going to go to the end with his fuel. Well, GJ's put a full tank of fuel on and seems to be quite struggling with maybe the weight of the fuel on him, as it just makes the car nice and nimble, and you kind of want your car nice and nimble to be able to get through these corners, maybe drift a bit, even though it mightn't be the quickest way through the corner, but still, different strategies here. Maybe GJ might struggle to the end with the fuel or tyres, we don't know, and time will soon tell. As Stimo Bear has front left damage.
Simba picking up some front left damage, and like you're saying with the fuel, Woody and Phoenix definitely don't have a lot, so they're definitely going to have to pit at least once. There's contact. Phoenix Gamer going into the back of Woody. That's the second time Woody's had a car, well, the front of another car hit the rear of his. As we're going to get a replay of that now on board with Phoenix Gamer into turn 1. You can see he's in the slipstream. And Woody, oh dear, that's the second time Woody's been collected in an incident. How unfortunate for him, but Play Dutchie has caught up to the back of Oriole. And now we have the battle back up for the lead of the race.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Woody, but Play Dutchie's closed the gap to 4/10 between him and Oriole now. He was a second behind at one stage and gets straight back, so Play Dutchie's shown that he does have the pace.
Just incident involved and might come at actually a good time for him. He can pit for fresh tyres, a repaired car and fuel, and go to the end of the race. Oriole though doesn't decide to defend the inside line. Play Dutchie though looks for the move down the inside. These two guys going side by side into turn 1, but Oriole defends the position going through turn 3. Now the run, the long sweeping left-hander hasn't got the best of exits. He has gone defensive to the inside. Play Dutchie on the right hand side will be the outside line for turn 4. Would he go for it round the outside? These two drivers going side by side through turn 4. Now turn 5 as Phoenix is into the pit. Still side by side between these two guys. Great racing from these two as Play Dutchie will have the inside line. He is slightly alongside. Oriole getting a little bit out of shape and runs wide and off onto the AstroTurf.
Oh, I think Oriole was looking and he thought Play Dutchie was still there, so he quickly moves and then really unfortunate for him.
And has picked up a 5/10 penalty despite losing time, so that's just how harsh the penalty system is in this game. Good evening to you, Black Country Mission in the chat. How are you doing? Hope you're enjoying the great racing that we are having today, as we've actually got a little bit of a battle at the back between GJ and Phoenix. The gap between those two drivers is 3/10, and Phoenix is actually involved in this battle as well. With he's still got that rear damage. He hasn't got that rear damage, so he's pitted to repair the damage.
As Toussaint is slowly catching up with these two if they keep on battling. He'll probably secretly hoping that one of them gets maybe a bit of damage, because he's obviously the championship leader and he's in really good shape to actually manage and win the championship, even though he hasn't actually won a race this year or this season, which shows that consistency is key in a championship as long as this. So he just keeps on banging in results and he's got himself first.
And looking at this battle at the back, through a fight between Phoenix, Simaba and GJ. Simaba looked for a move down the inside of Phoenix, didn't decide to go for it in the end. Hasn't got the best of runs through the penultimate few corners, as now GJ in the Subaru, that Subaru with good acceleration, obviously being a rally manufactured car, has that acceleration difference. As Phoenix is, oh no, just a little bit of lag, but Phoenix defending in 8th place. GJ not quite close enough to make the move on Simaba as this battle still continues, but the gap actually has opened up between Play Dutchie and Oriole. Oriole with a 10th, never mind, as Oriole with a penalty. That's what I'd just say, as Cryptex actually got himself a 7/10 penalty, as GJ running a little bit wide through turn 4. Will that be a penalty? Phoenix has Phoenix has got a penalty as well. So some of these drivers just going a little bit wide and picking up penalties. So just
Yeah.
just try to push themselves and to push some car to the limit. But imagine if it was on strict, these drivers would be getting 2-second time penalties for every track extend rather than 5/10. But that's why
Yeah.
we like to keep it on this setting. As
She's
GJ
gonna
goes
replace
down the
them.
inside of Simmerberg, there's a little bit of contact between the two. No damage as they go side by side into the long swooping left-hander. Hello Joe in the chat, how are you doing? As GJ now, Woody is into the pits, and that's GJ drifting through the corner. Would he hit Simmerberg? He doesn't, thankfully. But getting so...
He doesn't take Simmerberg with him, but
looking at the replay cameras, just got into the grass on the right hand side, and then that's what caused him to lose the rear, and that's lost him a load of time in that battle. Woody is off into the pits as Phoenix has actually got past Cryptek, so Cryptek's made a mistake. These two drivers both have 2 and 3/10 second penalties, which they will have to serve at some point during this race.
and yeah, I'd say pit stops are going to be coming in now soon. We're on lap 15. I'd say we're going to get about 37 laps maybe. That's a rough guesstimate. You never know. So things could get really interesting.
Definitely, yes, the gap between Phoenix and Cryptek has now opened up to 8 seconds. So maybe some of these drivers are conserving more fuel than others. There are some of these drivers, you can notice the top 5 are separated by 36 seconds between Holland and Woody. Woody has made, I think, 2 pit stops in this race. But that's just how quick these front runners are, as Oriole currently has both the 1/10 penalty and the fastest lap of the race. However, there is no point for the fastest lap in the end.
Yeah, as I would say, we're going to see the top runners come in now. They've been on red fuel for a while, and it's interesting to see the different tyre wear. So they'll probably come in for a new set of tyres, and yeah, just go to the end.
Having a look at the track map, I was just about to say, Playducci's actually semi-close to lapping GJ after he's had his spin. You can see nobody between turn 3 and turn 8. So the drivers are separated by quite a fair margin here. You've kind of got your top half all up here, as you can see in the map in the top right, and then all the other guys who've had separate incidents battling for 6th place. And Simmerberg looking for a move down the inside of Cryptek. Cryptek running really wide, taking quite an adventurous line through turn 4 and 5. Really quite wide. I wonder how many seconds of penalties the game will give him. None actually, and 2 Saint now, the first of the front runners to come into the pits. Duke follows him, both with 1% left of fuel. And what tyres do both drivers decide to go on? 2 Saint will be the first one out of the pits. Out of the 2, if they both put on equal amount of fuel, we'll have to wait and see. 2 Saint now leaving the pits, and Duke is held for more fuel. As 2 Saint's actually gone to the super soft tyres, and Duke's gone onto the soft tyres, so both drivers going onto the alternate tyre that they qualied on. But wonder if we'll see a reaction pit stop from Dutchy, Oriole or Holland. These guys haven't pitted yet, and as you can see by the fuel, Oriole, you need the magnifying glass to see that how much fuel he's got left. It's literally a pixel of red left on this fuel light. Hopefully he doesn't run out. Hopefully, I'm guessing these drivers have planned their strategies as part of the racing, but yeah, I don't think anyone's actually ran out of fuel, which is an excellent thing.
And I think the person who usually looks like he's about to run out of fuel is Playducci. I remember I think his first race in Spa, we were convinced that he's run out of fuel, but he's really good at conserving his fuel. He always goes out that extra 1 or 2 laps longer, and then goes for that, like, he can run in better fuel or take less fuel and be faster. And we've seen that work. We've got these won races by 30-20 seconds. And
Oriole pits with 0% of fuel. So if Oriole pitting with 0% of fuel, how much does Holland and Dutchy has as Holland comes into the pits now? Oh no, so Holland stays out. This could get muy interesante. And as you say in Brazil, well, I don't know how you say it in Brazilian, but Playducci's going purple on his sector 1 time. So just keep an eye on Holland and Dutchy, the two Dutch drivers in this league, staying out for an extra 2 laps after Toussaint pitted with 1% of fuel. Toussaint currently having a 4-second gap to Duke, and Oriol's just come out of the pits in front of him.
Yeah, as Holland Campion, yeah, he didn't seem to have that much fuel either. Gonna be really interested to see how much fuel play Dutchy has in the end, because as my spectator camera's having a bit of an issue here. Oh my god, has Cryptex in the pits with 1% of fuel and goes on the super softs, I think. And Play Dutchy coming around the final corner now. Will he go into the pits? I'd say he will, but no Play Dutchy will go out for another lap.
Right on board with him. Let's see what he does. He doesn't look to be... He does come into the pits. Play Dutchy's into the pits with 1% of fuel, so he's conserved his fuel. Wow, he's done some fuel conserving with the different engine modes. As Holland now, currently in second place, he hasn't pitted in this race.
Yeah.
Does he pit? He does pit. He comes into the pits. That gives Oriol, could give Oriol the net lead, but Play Dutchy though is coming out of the pits now. Where would he be in comparison to the other guys? Just have to wait and see. As Oriol comes through the long sweeping left-hander, and Play Dutchy's come out quite far ahead, actually 5 seconds. So it just goes to show how the slipstream really was helping Oriol stay with Dutchy in this race, as he actually sets a purple first sector.
It's really interesting to see, as I think Play Dutchy is really confident on saving fuel, as Holland Campion puts on 51% fuel, and Play Dutchy only puts on 44% of fuel. So he obviously thinks he can conserve fuel really well, and maybe that just gives him that extra 10th or 2 a lap, and which leads him to win a lot. Has he lost a race yet? I don't think he has, other than where he hasn't entered the race.
Out of all the races that Play Dutchy has competed in, he has won every
I thought
single
Oriol's won there.
Every single one of them. But now, just looking through the drives on the grid, if you bear with me, as there's no current action on the track, you can just see the nice track map that this game provides us with. You can see all the drivers quite separated throughout the track. If you want to have a quick look at their lap times, well, because I don't know, why not? As apparently it says Play Dutchy's down in 10th place, so that's an interesting thing. But I can't think of the word at the minute. But we'll ride on board with Oriol, and actually we have a little bit of a battle between Simmerbear and Phoenix, probably the closest 2 drivers on track.
Yes, Cryptex seems to be struggling this race. Did he have a spin? I don't know.
Not too sure if there was contact between him or anything. But I'm sure we might find out later. But anyway, as it stands, Play Dutchy's lead in the race. That will give him an extra 30 points in the championship. Talk about the championship, Toussaint currently leads the way of the championship. And, well, I think he can win it next race if the results go his way.
He can probably win it this race if Play Dutchy and Duke maybe blow up, maybe. I think... So, Toussaint looking very likely to win the championship, and really impressive for him. Obviously, the Premier Series champion in F1, so showing that he can race in any formula, any series.
So, yeah, Toussaint currently has 235 points, 38 points clearer to his nearest championship rival, who is Duke, in 4th place. As you remember, Duke won the first 3 races of the season, and Play Dutchy is only 7 points behind. 7 points behind Duke. So if all things go well for this man, Toussaint, he can win the championship next race, I believe. He does need to win the race, I believe, with Dutchy in a low enough position. He could, I think, win it. I don't think he can win it at this weekend. The gap's not quite big enough, because obviously every driver scores points, yeah, apart from a few disconnects or DNF. So Dutchy will be picking up the full 30 points, and Toussaint will be picking up 21, I believe.
Yeah. So Play 13 now is a 5.1 second lead, as Duke is a 6:10 penalty. So he needs to start respecting the track limits, or he will just do the penalties get more severe. Oh, Duke on the grass. Duke is on the grass, and Duke is. Oh, can he keep it out the barrier? Duke is in the barrier, but
now
no damage.
And he's almost hit Holland Campion, as Holland Campion claims 4th place, and those soft tyres aren't working for Duke there. As that's really unfortunate. I don't think the replay camera does go back that far. Oh dear. Kind of rally crossing it across the grass, and you can see as he rejoins the track, just gets onto the grass, and then that causes him to lose the rear again. So unfortunate for him. He's currently now down to 5th place as he comes into the pits.
He might just not like these tyres, and he can get in and out of the pits and stay in the same position, just go on to the softs. Or super softs, I mean.
As he comes into the pits, yes, for a set of super softs, and he's come out ahead of Woody in 5th place. So different types of strategies. So Duke not liking the soft tyres, despite Toussaint actually qualifying on them. And sorry, Woody's actually come out ahead of Duke. So we've actually got a bit of a battle on our hands now for 5th place between the BMW and the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, and Duke is hoping that Woody won't cause too much problems, even though because Duke he's going to try and catch up to Holland, but I'd say he probably has an 18-second gap to Holland Campion, which is going to be some hard to prove or to close the gap. So yes, he's closing up on Woody, obviously with fresher tyres. I'm not sure what tyres Woody's on.
Woody's on the super softs, Duke also on the super soft, so both. Woody's got slightly less fuel, quite a fair bit of fuel, less than Duke actually. And after 35 minutes, Play Dutchy still leads the race, as Play Dutchy's actually coming up to lap Cryptek in a minute. And
yeah, this has been a really strategic race. I think near the end of the race, I think the strategies will start to come into play from the soft to super soft strategy.
Definitely, and they've now got a battle for 5th place between Duke and Woody.
Yeah, as Duke will probably, hopefully, he's probably thinking overtake Woody straight away and get on his way.
He'll be trying to get past as quick as he can and try and hunt down Holland Campion. This is for he's trying to win the championship here, about 38 odd points behind the current championship leader, who's running in 3rd place in this race. But the gap now down to 4 tenths here, so Woody could be feeling the pressure a little bit. It's about staying consistent, keeping a cool head, and just trying to defend from the car in front.
Cryptek's getting lapped by Play Dutchy.
Cryptek lets Dutchy go by, but now down in the run to turn 1. Woody,
you could see the exit difference. Will he have to lift? No, he's going to go for the outside line. Will turn into the inside line, and the exit up the corner. Still risky though. I think he has to move before the corner. Woody kept his
keeping it on the
nose in
inside,
there.
but Duke gets past and is up into 5th place.
As
now,
will Woody have to run? I don't think he does.
He's got a semi-decent run. He's now going to tuck into the slipstream. Not sure he's close enough to make a move. We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't go for anything. So that's Duke back up into 5th place. He's now got to try and find 17 seconds to Holland Campion. That's going to be quite a difficult challenge for him.
Yes, indeed. It'd be really interesting to see, does he close up to him or not? But yeah, it's amazing how the top battle is slowly just left as Gigi getting a bit on the grass, not much there. And yeah, as Woody Duke isn't pulling away from Woody. Woody's still there. Which could be quite interesting to see. Will he have a run? It's only 3 tenths behind now. If he gets a really good exit here, he could actually challenge.
As Duke ran a little bit wide onto the curve. Woody hasn't got the greatest runs though. The gap is coming down because of the slipstream, but not sure he's close enough to make the move yet. As he actually goes for it, he sends one down the inside. Duke though with the switchback went into turn 1 a little bit too deep, and Duke keeps his 5th place in this race.
Yeah, obviously Woody there, lucky no contact. It was a pretty big dive bomb, but just went that tiny bit too deep, and let Duke straight back by.
And so that battle for 5th place is still within a second. A second's probably the good window for the slipstream, but I don't believe.
Simmelbear is slowly catching up to Phoenix Gamer here. There's 1.2 seconds between them.
So Simmelbear trying to make his way back through the field after picking up front damage. I didn't quite catch what that front damage was from. And so how long have we got left? 21 minutes. We've had 25
and 13
laps.
seconds.
We've had 25 laps, and well, it's been a good race. I think we've had some fair few overtakes, and
I'm waiting for. I hope this strategy kind of plays out here with the different runners. How did you find out what tyre people are on?
So in the bottom left of the screen, if you have all the information up, the RSS standing for the Racing Super Softs. But speaking of tyres, something I'm going to ask the man to Saint himself. It's time for an interview with him. I'll just let him get onto the straight, just because we don't want to distract these guys. So we'll try and get this over and done with as quick as we can. Try and find out why he decided to qualify on the soft tyre. Hello, Toussaint.
Hello, Natty, can you hear me?
Hello. So it's been a good race from you so far. You're up into 3rd place. What made you decide to qualify on the soft tyre?
Doing some practice runs earlier on in the week, I found that the softs were probably the better tyre to start on of the two. So I decided to go for the soft tyre. I then switched to the super soft. About 2 minutes left to go, helped me improve my lap time. So obviously before I was really pending to starting on the softs, but I saw how quick Oriole was being with the same tyres in the same car, so I made the switch to the supers at the pit stop.
And with only 2 races to go, how confident do you feel about your championship win?
Obviously it's not over till it's over, but just trying to do best I can to ensure good results, keep it consistent. Lap times are consistent apart from the last one. Yeah, I'm just trying to not bin it, not bottle it, and that's all I need to do.
Definitely, and good luck for the rest of this race. You've got Oriole up in front, and 19 minutes to go. We'll keep an eye on how well you're doing. Good luck for your championship hunt.
Alright, thanks Nancy, see you at the end.
See ya.
Enjoy.
So that was a quick word with Toussaint. So Toussaint finding the soft tyre to be the quicker tyre out of the super softs in his qualifying session. So
Sorry to disrupt. Interestingly, Woody is still 8 tenths behind Duke. So Woody's showing really good pace here to Duke, who obviously was... Duke's really struggling here, as he's going wide, as Woody's got a really good run on him into the final corner. He's going to get down the inside. Will he hold back for the straight? He's going to hold back, hope to get a good exit on the straight. But Duke's obviously really struggling here. Do you have his hazard lights on? He has his hazard lights on. So maybe Duke's struggling or something, as he just lets Woody by.
interestingly, Duke off the accelerator. He pulls over to the left-hand side of the track. What's happening here then with the current second place in the championship? And
he
Duke
stopped.
has pulled over to the left-hand side. He stopped before the line. This is like the end scene of Cars, when Lightning McQueen doesn't cross the line. What's going on
You
here
have to
then?
win it. I can't. Now, if he leaves, will the whole lobby stop?
This could get very interesting very quickly, as Duke is currently, obviously we know Duke is the lead admin and has the lobby. Well, he hosts the lobby, and if he leaves, that could allow the whole lobby to crash as he gets lapped by Dutchy.
As I wonder what's happening, as Cryptex soon not going to be last. As that's really interesting, as I saw him with his hazard lights on, and I thought maybe that might just be just a mistake, but that's really interesting.
I'll try and contact the man himself and try and find out what's happening for you guys.
I did the exact same thing.
Anyway, back onto another driver. Let's not give... So maybe the heat is actually getting to some of these drivers as it is in real life. It's currently about 30 degrees here in London. So I am definitely sweating up in the commentary box. But
I wish it was the exact... Well, in Brazil here at the moment, it's about 100 degrees. So in the commentary box... In Ireland it's really cold.
But that's promoted the likes of Woody up into 5th place, and this could be his best finish of the season. I'm not too sure where his best finish is. Obviously he had a replacement drive in one race. But someone's just sent me a message who I was watching the stream and just commenting on the car scene, and they just said, "Don't let Chick Hicks win." If anyone hasn't watched Cars, I'm not saying I would recommend it, but you know, can't give too much promotion. But really interesting. I'm not too sure what's happening there, but that could make it interesting if there's yellow flags in the final sector. If anyone's going for a move, there currently not really many battles on track.
I think the green flags start. I'm on Duke's car here, and you can see the marshal waving green flag just after the start finish line, so I think that might be okay, and hopefully it doesn't affect our racing.
As Holland Campion's picked himself up a 1/10 penalty, 1 second penalty, sorry, and as you saw there was, as you crossed the line, there are some yellow flags, but green flags going to turn 1 as Phoenix Gamer's actually got his windscreen right up on, but not sure there's any chance of rain, as it's a very dry, non-cloudy day today here at Interlagos. But yeah, I'm not too sure what's happened.
Really interesting. I hope Duke's actually okay, but at least he didn't leave the lobby and then saw him have to leave the lobby.
Definitely, there might have been something he had to attend to in real life, but obviously he is the host owner, can't leave the lobby, so fair play to him just pulling over to one side. But back to the race with lap 30. Play Dutchy's about to start lap 31 with 14 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. He's currently led almost every single lap of this race. He had a good battle with Oriel at the start. Oriel currently 6.2 seconds behind the BMW driver.
As as this is very interesting for the championship. Could this give what's it called? So I can't speak. But this give Toussaint the championship. As we talked about Duke blowing up.
With Dutchie winning, I'm not sure.
I'll do the maths quickly if you want.
I know the gap between Dutchie and Toussaint's roughly 48 points, I think, from our podcast recording. If you haven't seen the podcast, go check it out. Episode 11, 11 or 12. We've done too many. Is up online now, and I believe with Play Dutchie winning and Toussaint in third, Toussaint cannot win the championship just yet.
I think it'll give him a nearly definite chance to win next week, though.
If Toussaint pulls out a 58 points advantage to the driver in second place, and he will win the championship, because obviously 30 points is the maximum amount of points that you can get from winning a race, and if Dutchie wins 2 of them, that's a total of 60 points. But what you've got to remember is there is no 0 points, so even if Toussaint finishes in 14th, you've got to deduct 2 points from those 2 races unless he doesn't attend. So if he gets a 58 point gap, then that will crown your Premier Series champion, the champion of the first ever GT Sport League.
Yeah, and that... I saw yellow flags, and I got excited, but it was just Duke pulled over.
With
GJ, 11 minutes to go.
GJ's got some engine damage and front left suspension damage. I didn't quite catch what happened there. Maybe a battle with Simmerberg, but I'm not too sure. He might have lost the rear in one of the low speed corners as he's getting waved the blue flags. Let's Play Dutchie go through. Doesn't let him go through just yet. There we go. Goes wide and lets him go through, and Dutchie can continue on with the race.
As GJ, as in this track, it isn't too forgiving if you have a spin, as it's either grass or barrier. There's not much tarmac, and he's obviously found the barrier, I think. As really disappointing for GJ. I think every race this season he's got damage, which is really unlucky, as I know some of them weren't his fault, but wrong place at the wrong time, I think is the saying.
Yep, wrong place, wrong time. And 10 minutes to go. Let us know your drivers of the day.
As Cryptek and GJ, only 12 seconds between them. Cryptek might get himself into a battle, but the nearest battle on track, believe it or not, is between Play Dutchie and Oriole, or Simmerbear and Phoenix Gamer. They are the exact same gap. So yeah, we've seen some great overtakes today, and 33 laps in, 10 minutes to go. I'd say we'll get about 37 laps in, maybe 40. Yeah, this has been actually a really good race. As GG gets himself a 210 penalty and has just been lapped by Toussaint, the championship leader. As I keep on getting very excited when I see yellow flags pop up on people's screen, but it's just for Duke.
Just giving all the drivers a little bit of screen time here in this race, as currently don't have a lot of action on track at the minute. But we've got 1 vote for driver of the day, either Woody or Oriole. Woody's done well to get himself back up into 5th place after colliding twice with I think it was Phoenix and GJ. So he's done well to get himself into 5th place. But it's been a
really good to see Woody up. As really disappointing, I think we mentioned that Topster isn't here. Obviously his TV broke, I think, this morning. and he couldn't race. It was really annoying for him. And I would say the Honda would be a handful around this middle sector, just all the turns. But I think he kind of likes Honda, kind of suits his driving style. But he isn't here, and I think him and Oriol are the only two people who've taken pole position off him. As Oriol goes a bit wide there, probably will get himself a penalty. And the gap between him and Play Dutchy's gone out to 7 seconds. Play Dutchy just having a nice Sunday drive at the moment now, just keeping it on the track. In the BMW M6.
As I think quite a few of these drivers are probably on their Sunday drive, as the gap between Dutchy and Oriol 7 seconds, then 16 to Toussaint, 17 to Holland, 17 to Woody, 13 to Phoenix, 7 to Simaba, 37 to GJ, 12 to Cryptek, and quite a lot to Duke after pulling over to the side of the track.
He pulled off in quite a convenient place. I'm surprised he just didn't let the AI take over.
Definitely.
He just paused, I think.
I believe there's actually a
driver,
setting that the AI driving is turned off for this league, so I think that's why he hasn't gone AI mode. I'm not sure if that setting's off. Obviously we've seen well, we haven't seen AIs as we remember Tobster disconnecting from Kyoto. That was really unfortunate for him. Evan in the chat saying Holland wins livery of the season with his Lightning McQueen. And talking of Holland, taking a really adventurous line through turn 4, using all of the track to his advantage.
As track extending is key, I think. No, I'm joking. As I think we've made a good few Lightning McQueen jokes this race for Duke, which is giving him a great livery purpose. As I think as I think GJ's maybe about to unlap himself, as Cryptek's about to get lapped by Play, or who was about to get lapped? I swear someone was about to get lapped by Play Dutchy.
No. Play Dutchy coming through turn 5 now, all by himself. He's got nothing.
All drivers are extremely spread out. Look at the track map. There's a good corner between every single driver.
This is where we have the fun of, I say this is when, but we often leave it to the last minutes. But now we guess who will be the first person to come across the line. Can't tell quite yet.
We should pledge our guesses now. I'm going to say Holland Campion will cross the line first.
I'm going to try and work this out.
Oh, I didn't know. I just took a guess. As GJ's all over the back of Toussaint for unlapping himself. As I say, we're going to get 40 laps in that. But is that the biggest? Is that the most laps we've got in a race yet? We've had Austria, which is a pretty short track. I can't remember, but yeah, it's been a really exciting race actually.
I reckon it'll be Simaba. Simaba is my guess, ladies and gentlemen, for the first driver to cross the line. But I think it'll be close between him and Phoenix. But that's my personal guess. As on board.
I'm actually gonna guess Woody.
Okay, so we got.
I changed my guess.
Simaba and Woody just on top board with the current championship leader, Toussaint. He's actually letting GJ through. Interesting. So maybe
he probably just
doesn't want to.
Didn't like it. He probably doesn't like. He might feel under pressure with someone behind him, and he might make a mistake, or he doesn't actually want to get hit. So he's just letting. He has a 20-second gap to Toussaint or to Holland Campion. The freshman league champion.
As Evan is saying, GJ will cross the line first. He actually got a very close-up camera shot of his Subaru. So we've got one for Simaba, one for GJ, and one for Woody. But with 4 minutes left to go, and Play Dutchy still leads this race from Oriol in second, Toussaint in third, Holland Campion in fourth, Woody up into 5th place, Phoenix in 6th, Simaba in 7th, GJ in 8th, and Cryptek in 9th with a 1.6 second penalty. In interesting.
Nice.
Black Country Risk says Toussaint will come across the line first. So we've got 4 votes for different drivers. This is a nice fun game we can play at the end of each race if there are no on-track battles. I think on-track battles are more important than individual games. That we like.
We need the commentator championship. Who cares about Toussaint about to win? We need
commentators championship. Just on every single game that Gavra offers. We've got obviously the F1 seasons are starting up soon. We have the few events, one at the Netherlands Grand Prix tomorrow and one at Suzuka on Sunday, and then the new season will start sometime in September. I'm sure Project Cars will be getting up and underway sometime in September too, and I think the GT Sport League is set to have a second season, so tune in for some new drivers, new cars, new tracks, and some new regulations.
And we've come a long way with the GT. Remember at the start of the championship when we had 7 drivers, and then we were regularly having the whole grid, 14 drivers. Today obviously we only have 10, which is really annoying. Well, not annoying, unfortunate, as technical issues have gotten in the way, such as Tiger, who's having some technical issues, and Topster, so that's 2 drivers who aren't here, unfortunately. And Joe Black here, not here for an unknown reason, sadly. And hopefully they will all get back next week and have a great race.
So, 2 minutes left on...
Oh, that's Cryptek having a nice drift.
Cryptek, where's he going? Cryptek currently 36 seconds behind GJ. I'm not sure he's got much to lose here in this race. He's currently in last place.
Actually, Duke's in last place.
Not counting Duke. Cryptek's currently in 9th place. He will be picking up some points though.
It'd be funny if Duke comes back. Does Duke get any points now? Seeming he might or will he quickly come back at the last second and cross the line? Maybe he'll finish first. Oh, that would have been a good guess.
Ooh. Actually, looking at the times, this is going to be an interesting...
Probably got another lap. This is the last lap of the race.
Looking at the track map, I have absolutely no idea who is who. If you bear with me for just 1 second, guys, I'm just going to get onto the track map so I can see where everyone is. So Dutchy is coming
GJ,
through.
I think GJ will. GJ. I think it's going to be GJ or... Oriel has had a big moment. He hasn't spun but had a big moment, and I think GJ is going to finish the line first. So I think did World F1 do it? Yeah, he did.
Cryptek is I would use the word track extending lightly, as he's ran very wide through turn 3. 4.5 second penalty. Let's give everyone in the chat, give Cryptek a round of applause. He's the official Gavra Racing world record for the most penalties in a GT Sport race, 5.4. Not the best achievement.
GJ's going to cross the line first.
Not the best achievement to hold, but with 5 seconds left on the line, GJ crosses the line, and it's going to be Holland Toussaint. Toussaint crosses the line in 3rd place, and Black Country Mush wins the useless game award, which means
that's
nothing.
A whole 25 points for him on the board for the championship.
And Holland Campion doing a little bit nice slide through the line. He finishes in 4th place, and I have the joys of going through every single driver to try and find who it is. And thankfully, Thunder's quicker than me, and Woody comes across the line in I think this is the best 5th place for him. He's happy, weaving, and comes across the line in 5th. Cryptek,
Phoenix Gamer,
quite a lot of penalties, as he's got quite a bit of damage after crossing the line.
As I think it's Phoenix Gamer, Simo Bear, and
as a Dutchy is going to come across the line now to win the 12th race here in the GT Sport League and pick up, I believe, his 6th or 7th win. Simibert crosses the line in 7th. Oriel now in the run up to the line. Had a really great battle with Dutchy. Comes across the line in second place and picks up the fastest lap of the race as well. And just waiting for GJ now to come across the line. In 8th place.
As Duke has crossed the line, I'm not sure, did he actually drive across the line or what happened?
I have absolutely no idea.
Or
but
Duke,
he's had
Duke is driving on the last lap.
So Duke driving on the last lap. It's good to see that
he might have had to go.
He's back.
He might have had to go for something, maybe dinner, or
but
you never
Duke,
know what happens.
Your league admin cut second in the championship, comes across the line.
Oh,
and
in style.
Interesting. And everyone, I know, ignore that. I was going to say everyone was a lap down, but that just happens because of the different timings of when the drivers cross the line. But there you have it. Play actually wins here. The Autodromo.
We've seen that helmet well too much now.
That helmet followed by that suit with that car in the background has been seen quite a lot here in the end. But yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
So actually, it was actually a weird race. Strategy didn't really come in like we actually thought it was going to come in. But we still had some great overtakes, especially into turn 1 and 2, and we had the battle for the lead at one stage, which is good to see.
Definitely, and thank you all so much, guys, for watching and keeping us company in the chats. We do appreciate it a lot. But that has been round 12 here in the GT Sport League. Up next week, if all things go to plan, is Dragon Trail, the seaside layout of the track for the penultimate race of the season. And it's been a pleasure commentating with you, Thunder, and goodbye from me. See you next week.
Goodbye.